Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Bet, our podcast where we will tell you how to bet, where to bet it, and who to bet on. I'm Daryl Sean along with Sean the Genius Miller, and it is time for our Parlay Power Plays of the Week. Sean, we've been successful with our parlays here. You hit the first week, I hit last week, and one of us or both of us, I am confident, will hit again. But before we get into our Parlay Power Plays of the Week, let's tell everybody where to find us all over the world.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're on YouTube here, and if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like it, notifications, all that stuff, so we can, keep getting our viewers up and everything like that, and follow our Twitter accounts as well. I'm at The Prodigal Sean.
I am at the Fine Line, or at Fine Line 33, FEINLINE 33. Again, FEINLINE 33. Again, as Sean said, hit those subscribe buttons, like buttons, message us there after you subscribe, get swag, you see the shirts, hats, we got everything.
That's where you can get the swag, send us
the swag.
Yeah,
people want the swag.
Leave us a message, say, hey, I want merch, I want swag, and we'll send you something.
Get a haircut. Grow some hair, whatever you say.
It's fun. We're not cutting the hair until Manchester United wins a trophy.
Yeah, I don't even know when they play, so hopefully that championship comes
Maybe
soon,
February.
Or else you won't be able to fit the headsets on.
McTominay, let's go. I just want to take a moment to talk about our Sportsbook of the week.
We love
our
Sportsbook of the week.
Caesars Sportsbook. One of our favorite sports books that you can find in how many states?
12
states across the United States. Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia as well. Depending on the state you're living in, you'll be able to join and sign up with Caesars Sportsbook. Great household brand, quick payouts, top odds, obviously. But mainly, the thing that you want to go there for is,
what are they giving us?
This is the best promotion giving us something that they're in the gambling world right now. $5,000 risk-free bet. $5,000. Once again, we talked about this. If you would have put your $5,000 risk-free bet on Daryl's Parlay Power Play of the Week last week, you probably could have retired at this point.
A lot of money. You'd have made a lot of money. Or
maybe plus 300.
I gave out, as I said earlier, the Raiders on the money line. I gave out Carolina on the money line. I crushed it last week.
Yeah, I mean, parlays pay about 6-1, so you would have won about 30,000. So, HowToBet RF. RF means risk-free. HowToBet RF. You guys in need of a sports book? We highly recommend Caesars Sportsbook. Don't forget to check our list of all the legal sports books. We'll leave the links pinned in the description down below. Let's not waste any more time, and we will get to our Parlay Power Plays of the Week.
You were a little slower than I was, but okay. All right, so Sean again. Sean hit the first week. I hit last week, which is good. Hey, right now we're batting 100 or 1,000 because, if you take both of us and, 2 for 2.
Is this like the Ryder Cup coming up? You go first here today. You have the honor since you had the parlay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go first with the Parlay Power Plays. Now, I will say this, Sean, just in doing my research and my studying here, this is a more difficult week than the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines that are high. We talked about this with Mark Eckel. There's a lot of lines that are double-digit lines early in the week. I mean, you don't usually see those double-digit lines until maybe later in the week as the lines start moving, but we're already early in the week, and it's double-digit lines. Tough to call. And then there's a lot of 1-1 teams playing.
Very difficult. Very difficult. I know there's overreaction in week 1. I said that going into week 2. Don't overreact and don't underreact either. But this is a little tougher this week. So anyway, I'm going to start out with the Buffalo Bills and Washington Redskins, and the odor I smell is fraud odor. I smell fraud odor, and that fraud odor is the Washington football team's defense. That is fraudulent.
But we just talked about how good they were for the first week. Everybody picked them to win the division.
Yeah, well, that defense is not as good as they said it was going to be. They did get to the quarterback, Jones on Thursday night, but overall this team's defense is not as good as advertised. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills minus the 8.5. Buffalo showed up week one. Just showed up week one. That's all. They just put their jerseys on. They pads, jerseys, and they didn't play because they thought all they had to do was show up and they'd be in the playoffs. Not the case. They lose to the Steelers. Then they rebound big time against Miami, crushed the Dolphins, shut them out. So I'll take Buffalo minus the 8.5 over the football team. My next bet will be a team that I won with on my parlay last week, my Parlay Power play of the week. I'm going to take the New England Patriots minus the 3 over New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans came out. They crushed Green Bay. Then they lost outright to Carolina. I told you to take Carolina on the money line last week. I was correct. And I'm telling you now, take the New England Patriots minus the 3. And I will finish my Parlay Power play of the week with the Tennessee Titans.
You love the Titans, man.
They won a close one last week. I had the over in that one. It had to go down the end to win that over. But Tennessee minus the 4.5 against Indianapolis. Wentz can't walk. It's a mess.
They're a mess.
They're a mess. They're a mess on both sides of the ball right now. I'm going to go with Tennessee minus the 4.5. So there it is. Buffalo minus 8.5, New England minus the 3, and Tennessee minus 4.5. They are my Parlay Power plays of the week.
It's interesting. When I wrote the preview story for HowToBet.com, or the overarching thing about that Week 3 game, I talked about Carson Wentz being injured, and in parentheses, oh my God, pretends to be shocked. Like the least.
Shocking news would be Carson Wentz getting hurt.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah. I can't believe they I don't know. Titans are going to win that division by a lot. But
all right, so my Sean, picks, you're up. You're up for your Parlay Power plays of the week. And again, you can see the lines on Caesar Sportsbook. Get to howtobet.com for lines from various numbers of sports books. And again, our featured this week is Caesar's Sportsbook. So Sean Miller, you are up.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my first game is going to be the Seattle-Minnesota game. And we just talked about the Tennessee game. Tennessee, Derrick Henry went nuts against Seattle in the second half, 3 touchdowns, and they ended up winning overtime. I think Seattle was kind of in charge of that game. And now Seattle has to go play the Vikings, and the line right now is like 1.5. And I don't. The Vikings are a disaster, and that field goal, like the field goal call was the best thing I ever heard. The guy's like, "It's good," and then like, "Oh wait, he missed it."
If you know anything about the Vikings' recent history,
yikes.
I can't tell you the last time they made a big field goal. Now the kid put them into overtime against Cincinnati, which was a big field goal at the time, but they wind up losing. I can't tell you the last time that a kicker made a big field goal for the Vikings. It's been a while.
I just don't think they're that good, and I just don't think they're strong. I think Seattle will bounce back from that game, and Russell Wilson will bounce back from that loss better. And I just think the -1.5 here is too much to pass on. So I'm going to go with Seattle in the first game here.
All right.
The second game, we talked about this. This is my team. You talk about your team, Tennessee. My team, Arizona at Jacksonville. The Cardinals escape with that win.
Yes.
But now they have a chance. And the NFC West, we talked about this in the preview as well. The teams that are going to do well in the NFC West have to win their division games because they're going to get beat up in the division. The teams, all 4 are very good, and there's going to be wins and losses, 3-3, 4-2, whatever. If they can win the games outside of the division, I think those are big. And I think that win last week was massive for Arizona, and Kyler Murray is a star right now.
Well, they get a cream puff here.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Once again, I'm going to bet this down to 7. You got to jump on this now because I think this line is going to go up. I'm going to bet it down to 7 and take the Cardinals. I love this team. 3-0. And that's a good base for them. And we talked about maybe, as a long shot to win the NFC West. Well, hey, if they're 3-0, they're in the race. So right now, I'll take Arizona in that game. My final Parlay Power play of the week is the Browns, another team that I'm very high on.
Browns.
Yeah,
that line's 7.5. They're -7.5 against Chicago.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet it down to 7. It looks like I know. Coach Nagy said if Andy Dalton is healthy, he's the starting quarterback, but it's a knee injury. He's not going to play. It's Justin Fields' time.
Isn't it a perfect time for Nagy to say,
yeah,
Dalton's banged up, we're going to start Fields, and then if Fields fails, he could say, we'll bring Andy back. He's ready to go now. He's ready to go.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. Like, you don't have enough confidence in him, and so now he's starting this game, and the line is 7, and you're playing a Browns team. And it's a tough game for them, and it's a tough spot for them, I think, as well. In Cleveland, and I'm just going to bet it down to 7. I really like the Browns in this game. At some point, I think they're going to cover. The only problem I think I see with the Browns this year is, and once again, we wrote about this, go to HowToBet.com and go to the front page for the preview of the week. I think the Browns are going to start seeing these lines, heavy lines, every week. So if you can get them at -7 or -6.5, and now with the extra point being long, maybe -6, jump on it. I think, last week they won by 10. They didn't cover because it was 12.5. So I'm going to take them to cover here at -7.
Now, remember, there's a lot of injuries that are cropping up, so pay attention to that. Go to HowToBet.com for all those updates, because that's important this week, especially this week, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, it's right in, if you go to any of the preview stories, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games, in one of the sections is injury report, and there's a link right to the live injury report, and you'll get those updated to the second injury report information. So just click on that, and it's going to be, you're going to have to watch. There's a lot of injuries, and there's a lot of big time injuries to players this week, and the lines are going to move all over the place. If you can get some of these lines early before they move, the better off that you're going to be.
So Sean, once again, his Parlay Power plays of the week: Seattle -1.5, Arizona -7.5. He's going to bet it down to 7, and Cleveland -7 as well, as he'll bet that down as well. I think you said that right. You're going to bet that one down?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that's Sean's Parlay Power plays of the week. When we come back, our top 5 NFL bets of the week. We'll do it all after this. You're listening to How to Bet. Go to HowToBet.com.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.